Hi, telemarketing scripts are aimed to help the uncomfortable get comfortable and the poor get good. They rarely do either. Today, I'm going to show you a number of telemarketing scripts, summarise them, and make one big change to that summarised set to help you get more effective at telemarketing for complex B2B selling. I've reviewed practical recommendations from 3 sites and summarised them. I found generally they've all tended to be about manipulation, trying to manage a conversation. In complex B2B, there are some really important elements going on for the buyer that the seller needs to understand and take cognizance of and build a strategy around. I believe a telemarketing script should be a flow, not a script at all, and it's, of course, not about selling the product. But it's also not about selling you or the company. It's about selling the next step. And the next step is usually an exploratory meeting. And if that's true, if genuinely the next step is an exploratory meeting, then you have to earn an exploratory meeting, which means you need to surface an issue that you're an expert at solving. And I'll show you how to do that when we summarise those articles. The first of the 3 is from Kathy Sisk. She's the president and founder of Kathy Sisk Enterprises. 12 steps. I found this quite practical. Let's skip the preamble. Introduction. Reference, a request for time, the purpose of the call, probe, restate, features and benefits. There's more behind the screen. Get a reaction, trial close, objections, close for an appointment, and then post-close. Very practical steps, if a little dry. Telemarketing scripts, there's no author name, the site is BizTree. Let me give you the summary. A little hard to read, so I'm going to give you just the essence of it, and you'll see why I'm not going to dally on this one. My name is X and I'm calling from Y. How are you? Your name, I'm calling you for a very precise reason. Here at X, we've developed X specifically to X. Clunk, hang up. I hate that. That's all about the product. Let's take a look now at what Bill Nasser has produced from Phoneware. He's got some very practical steps. It begins with a point with which I agree. Understand the limitations of the professional. 3 to 15% of calls will succeed, and that's confronting, but good advice. He has some specific recommendations. Write the script with the telemarketer's experience in mind. Good advice. Use a grid to facilitate fluidity. Again, I agree. Include 5 key elements or areas within the script. Ask the caller questions, differentiate yourself, ensure caller action, introduce the purpose. Here's the essence of the advice from those 3 sites. You need to develop a well thought out script that the caller can use. Think about why recipients say no and craft a script to avoid a no and encourage yes type interactions. Introduce the value early. The general format recommended from these articles is an introduction, a reason for calling, how the product can help the listener, repeat the key information back, and conclude with a call to action. Now, I wasn't thrilled with that, so I looked also at our own site to see, basically, what we'd said previously in blogs. I found an old summary from our blog there that I think still makes sense, and key from that is that you need to follow up leads quickly and that there's some real maths around how quickly you need to follow them up. Build a working best practice framework and test hundreds of hypotheses that you can A and B test to improve that framework. Remember that buyers normally receive more calls than you make, so they're way better at this. Don't try to outsmart them. We need a flow for telemarketing scripts that allows a bit of personality. Get the value in early, respects that you have some value that they may not be looking for right now, so that you need to talk, but recognise that they are more expert than you at this game. Here's my take on what we actually need telemarketing scripts to do. Set up a process that you can learn from, follow, master, measure, and improve. All of those elements are important. Learn from, so it's got to be a good process already that you can follow. So it's not too detailed. One that you can master, one that you can measure, and the measurement is obviously important, and then improve your own process. Follow up as fast as humanly possible. Do your research on the individual company and the caller first. Look at their website, look at their LinkedIn profiles, look at competitors' websites and LinkedIn profiles as well. Make your transition from who the hell is this to I need to allow this call as compelling and as fast as you can. Simply nothing matters more than this. You need to earn the right to the next 2 minutes. Remember, you've interrupted them. You need to get from that interrupt to I'm going to put up with this call, and frankly that's about all you're going to get, but you need to get to it quickly. Then we need to transition from all right, let's talk to I'd like to meet, and that's another big transition. You've got 2 big transitions. Do I even accept this call, and then do I want to meet? The second transition has to be equally compelling, logical and quick. Consider, so this is the case and I'm assuming that. And you can insert your gap or its cause or its consequence. Tell me a little about how that's playing out. Clearly, if you mention a gap that's unlikely to play out, then you've done your homework badly. I've seen, now state how you've seen this elsewhere and don't make that up. Evidence your knowledge and ways to fill the gap, and then ask for an exploratory meeting. Let me try that as a script. John, this is Hugh McFarlane from Align.me. The reason for my call is that I saw you're planning for a launch of your new data integration service simultaneously in 5 markets. I have to imagine that you're concerned about having a plan that will work out across those markets and having a whole team, marketing as well as sales, from the 5 regions bought into the plan. I've got a lot of experience building multi-stakeholder go-to-market plans in 20 countries, and I've seen a few blow-ups. But mostly, I've just seen underwhelming results. I've got an idea how to possibly help you avoid some of those common disconnects. Can I ask you a couple of questions? Now that was long. You might find with testing you need it to be shorter. You might find from your own personality that you need it to be different. The point that I was making with that script is that I needed to get an issue to the surface that wasn't at the surface because the guy was doing his email, was doing something else other than my call, to evidence my knowledge. But I need to earn the right to ask the questions rather than just, may I ask you? That's not compelling enough because they're busy. Cue techniques that get people nodding, I don't disagree with, but again, it's all about manipulation. And in sophisticated B2B, manipulation rarely works. What does work is finding and then bringing to the surface an issue that they weren't focused on, that you are a world expert at, and earning the right to an exploratory about the conversation. And that means homework, and it means getting that issue on the table quickly, not about cute telemarketing scripts. In your funnel plan, map out the buyer's journey and choose tactics for every stage, from finding names to closing deals. Design both the strategy and the tactics together: sales, marketing, finance and ops. Now, if you don't have a funnel plan, get a free one at funnelplan.com. Go get a free one now, or click on the little eye on your screen, it's this guy, or just visit funnelplan.com. Either way. I've got lots more lined up for next week. Until then, may your funnel be full and always flowing. Our thanks this week to you for watching this week's show, to Kathy Sisk, President and Founder of Kathy Sisk Enterprises, for 12 steps to successful telemarketing calls. And you can find it here. To an unnamed author from BizTree for telemarketing scripts, which you can find here. To Bill Nasser, author at Phoneware, for this article. To Elizabeth Pena for blog production, to John Ang for video production. My name's Hugh McFarlane, and it's been my absolute pleasure to have scripted and presented this week's show.